It was subtle, like looking in the face of the water demon, but I could sense Zia's thoughts. She was trapped in a dream of drowning. She was trying to hold on to her last good memory, Iskandar's kindly face as he placed the crook and flail in her hands. "Keep these, my dear. You will need them. And do not fear. Dreams will not bother you." But Iskandar had been wrong. Nightmares had invaded her sleep. The voice of Apropos hissed in the darkness. "I destroyed your family, and I am coming for you." Zia saw the demolition of her village over and over, while Apropos laughed, and the spirit of Nefertis churned uncomfortably inside of her. Iskandar's magic had trapped the goddess, too, in an enchanted sleep, and she tried to protect Zia, calling on the Nile to cover this chamber and shield both of them from the serpents. Still, she could not stop the dreams. Zia had been having the same chaotic nightmare for 3 months, and her sanity was crumbling. "I have to free her," I said. "She's partially conscious." Beth sucked air through his teeth. "That shouldn't be possible, but if it's true—" "She's in serious trouble." I sank my hand deeper into the sarcophagus. I channeled the same kind of magic that I used to part the river, only on a smaller scale. Slowly the water lost its shape, melting like an ice cube. Before Zia could spill off the dais, I caught her in my arms. She dropped the crook and flail. Her staff and wand clattered to the floor. As the last of the sarcophagus trickled away, Zia's eyes flew open. She tried to breathe, but couldn't seem to inhale. "Bess, what's wrong with her?" I said. "What do I do?" "The goddess," he said. "Zia's body is rejecting the spirit of Nefertis. Get her to the river." Zia's face started to turn blue. I gathered her in my arms and raced up the slippery stairs, which wasn't easy with Zia kicking and hitting me all the way. I managed to make it across the mud without falling, and eased her down next to the riverbank. She clawed at her throat, her eyes full of fear. But as soon as her body touched the Nile, a blue aura flickered around her. Her face turned back to its normal color. Water gushed from her mouth like she turned into a human fountain. Looking back on it, I suppose it was pretty gross, but at the time I was too relieved to care. From the surface of the river rose a watery form of a woman in a blue dress. Most Egyptian gods grew weak in running water, but Nefertis was clearly an exception. She glowed with power. She wore a silvery Egyptian crown on her long black hair. Her regal face reminded me of Isis, but this woman had a gentler smile and kinder eyes. "Hello, Bess." Her voice was soft and rustling, like a breeze through the river grass. "Nefertis," said the dwarf. "Long time." The water goddess looked down at Zia, who was shivering in my arms, still gasping for breath. "I'm sorry for using her as a host," Nefertis said. "It was a poor choice, which almost destroyed both of us. Guard her well, Carter Kane. She has a good heart and an important destiny." "What destiny?" I asked. "How do I protect her?" Instead of answering, the spirit of Nefertis melted into the Nile. Bess grunted with approval. "The Nile's where she should be. That's her proper body." Zia sputtered and doubled over. "She still can't breathe." I did the only thing I could think of. I tried mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Yes, okay, I know how that sounds, but I wasn't thinking straight. Stop laughing, Sadie! Honestly, I wasn't trying to take advantage. I was just trying to help. Zia did not see it that way. She punched me in the chest so hard, I make a sound like a squeak toy. Then she turned to one side and retched.